Are you scared of trading credit spreads because you don't know what would happen? You've seen people lose a lot of money. Well, I've learned the number one way to reduce fear, reduce risk, reduce all these things is to understand what the worst case scenarios are and how to protect yourself and prepare against them. So if you want to learn how to not be scared because you're going to know what's going to happen in any given situation, your worst case scenarios, and how to plan for it, how to prevent your loss, and how to actually make money from it, then smash that subscribe button and let's get into this video. Alright, so we're going to start off this video with the most riskiest thing. It's called assignment risk. If you've never heard of assignment risk, let me explain this. Once you have a credit spread, your goal is to sell a credit spread that is out of the money. What does that mean? It means that if a stock is trading here, right here, this is the current stock price, you want to sell a credit spread, for instance, a put credit spread that is below the current stock price. If you sell it below the current stock price, it's out of the money, meaning that as long as the stock stays outside or above this range, you make money. However, once the stock breaks this range and goes down below it, you are now what's called in the money. Once you are in the money, you are now at risk for assignment. What does this mean? Well, a credit spread, for instance, a put credit spread, is structured by selling one put option. So we're going to sell a put, and then by buying a lower put option. So this put option that we sold, we no longer have access to. Somebody bought it from us, and when they bought it from us with a contract saying that they can take advantage of this contract, they can execute it and get shares for it. And so because of that, that's called assignment. When someone decides that the contract they sold you, they want to execute on. If they want to execute it, then now you are responsible for 100 shares, whether owning them, selling them, whatever, depending on if it's called or put contract. Assignment can lead to a massive, massive loss. So let's address how you deal with this. Well, quite simply is this. You have a couple options. Number one, for assignment risk is if your bought protective option, the option that you bought for the put credit spread, is also in the money, then simply call your broker and assign your protective. Assign the option that you bought, hence the plus sign. So assign that one. If you do that, you'll now experience the max loss that your broker stated when you originally placed the trade. You won't have this crazy loss. You won't have the 100 shares. You will now just have that small loss. Option number two, sell the shares. Because you got, or depending on this thing, let's just say you got assigned shares. Sell the shares and hold the protective options. We're going to say, if I can't even spell this, hold the protective options. I don't know how to do protective, so I try to spell option. Anyways, so we're going to sell the shares. We're going to, or just basically get rid of the shares that we were assigned, and then we're going to hold on to the protective option. This works if the market's still moving against us. For instance, let's say we have a put credit spread. How does a put credit spread make money? It makes money by us putting a level underneath the stock price and makes money if the stock goes up. Right? So the stock is going down and breaks below this and we get assigned. Well, we're going to take those shares that we got assigned and we're going to get rid of them. Then we're going to hold on to our put option, so which goes up in value as the stock drops, and as the stock continues to drop, well, our put will go up in value. This will stop losing money, the stock side, and now we're making money. Okay, so you can do that. That's option number two. Anyways, there's a lot of options you can do, which I've covered in my assignment risk videos. But anyways, the easiest one is to just call your broker and say, hey, I have a protective option, assign this, and limit my losses. Next thing we're going to talk about is how credit spreads have a massive difference in the risk to reward. For instance, on a normal trade, you're going to be risking roughly $70 to make $30. How do we change this, right? Although we have a high win rate with this, we're losing a lot to make a little. And again, that's the nature of credit spreads. That's why it has a naturally high win rate. But how can we limit this loss or increase our profits? All right. Well, there's one simple way to do that. Number one is to have a stop loss. So again, we can have a stop loss. Most of the world for credit spreads advises like a 2x loss, which means that whatever you collected, multiply that by 2, and that's your stop loss. My favorite stop loss is because I'm trading with the trend, which means that I'm finding a stock that I like, so that if I put a credit spread below the current stock price, I'm going to make money to the upside. So as soon as it breaks my strike price, it's showing, hey, I'm no longer going in your favor, so I'm going to get out of that. So when I have a stop loss, when I enter the money, or when my spread breaks my strike price and enters the money, then I can have a stop loss. When that happens, the stop loss will take will take effect at 40 cents. This again is a dollar wide. So if I'm trading a $1 wide spread and I entered it at, let's say, 30 cents, that's pretty high. And I wait for my stop loss. Again, I typically enter around 10 cents, 15 cents, 20 cents. Anyways, but if I exit when it breaks my strike, I'm now exiting at the high end 50 cents. So what does this mean? That means I stand to make $30 because that's the amount that I collected. And I collected this and I'm closing at 50. So the difference between these two is 20 cents. So I get to make 30, but I am risking $20. So yes, now I have to make sure that my win rate allows this to work long term, allows this to work, because now I have a stop loss that may that may lower my win rate dramatically because I'm going to get stopped out a lot. But if it works out long term, then that's going to be advantageous. What I really love seeing here and that works the best for me and my members is a dollar wide spread, collect roughly 15 cents, and having our stop at roughly 50 cents. This on average gives you an 80% plus win rate, typically more than that, around an 88% win rate. And you're now risking around 35 to make 15. And overall, this is a great trade-off and a great trade. So if you are scared of the losses being too large, we have things like stop limit orders to place these stop loss orders so that you can get out and dramatically limit your losses. I can't spell, but last but not least, let's talk about apocalypse. What happens if the end of the world comes? Well, if the end of the world comes and zombies and government shutting down and blah, 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 I doubt you're going to be worried about your credit spread trade. I bet you'll be worried about more things, your family, food, safety, etc. But just given this instance, let's say you are concerned. If something dramatic happens where the market drops 20, 50% overnight, what is going to happen? Well, nothing. Right? That is the beauty about credit spreads. They have a predefined max loss, which means no matter how much the stock drops, your max loss is the same. Now, again, this means or is assuming that you're not being assigned, right? As long as you have both options there to protect each other and the market drops to oblivion, to zero, you're going to still only experience that max loss. This is different than if you're holding the stock. You'll experience 100% loss. You'll only experience that max loss, which is the difference between your spread width and the credit collected. So again, these are 3 different scenarios that I hear about a lot of traders worrying about. Assignment risk, our losses being too large, and also what happens if the market just absolutely crashes. Again, credit spreads and the way you trade them are designed to handle these situations. That's why they work. That's why they're amazing. That's why I trade them. Again, do your own research. If this makes sense to you, do it. But again, this is how I remove the fear out of trading credit spreads, by understanding what is the worst case scenario, how do I plan for it, how do I prep for it, and what's my plan. If you don't have a plan, then you're going to get emotionally sky high and make bad trading decisions. Anyways, if you need help making the right trading decisions, then click the first link down below to grab free access to my credit spreads trading course. I go in depth on my strategy and how you can make at least 5% every single month by trading credit spreads. All right, guys, see you in the next video.